What's going on, guys? Welcome back to a brand new video. In this one, we're going to go over everything that you need to know with the massive Season 4 update that's right around the corner. I know Season 3 Reloaded just started, but we have so much information and we already know what that new update is going to have. So I decided to cover it all for you guys in this one video. If you find this video helpful or informative at any point, don't forget to hit that like and subscribe button so you always stay up to date on the latest Call of Duty news and updates. Let's go ahead and let's get into it. This update is going to be going live on May 29th at 9 a.m. Pacific Standard Time. So it is a couple weeks from now, usually around a week to 2 weeks before we will start getting the roadmap, the official Call of Duty announcements, and everything to expect from that. So there will be more information that we will add on top of this video as we go on. For the file size, you can expect it to be anywhere from 30 to 35 gigabytes based on the Season 3 update that we got. That one was around 30. The Season 2 update was around 25. So around that area should be the file size for this update. Let's talk about the new content this update will bring in. The first thing is a new level cap, so it will now be raised to 850. As of right now, you're maxed out at 650. Every single time you hit one of these level caps, there's usually a reward that you will unlock. Every time you hit that level cap, you'll unlock a weapon blueprint. They're usually not the best, I'm not gonna lie, up until the very end of the level cap progression, which is gonna be at Season 6 when it's around 1250. That's when the rewards start actually getting good, but for now, there's just gonna be random default blueprints that don't have any tracers or effects. But my theory is that the max level cap will probably unlock you the Soaphawk operator skin. I remember the last year in MW2, we had the same thing where we wanted to see the Shadow Company Milsim operators. We asked for it throughout the entire life cycle of MW2, and then last second for the level cap reward, made it a free operator skin for you to unlock, but you had to hit level 1250. I think it's going to be the same way here. After all, it is a theory, but usually the last reward is always an operator skin, and that's one of the most wanted operator skins that we currently have in MW3. Another thing is with Season 4, there will be a brand new weekly set of challenges that bring in new aftermarket parts, which we'll talk about later in the video, and there will also be a new animated camo. There's a couple theories on what this animated camo can be. The very first one is Windfall, because that's been in the files for quite a while now. That could be one of the potential rewards. Another one is a new lightning camo that was actually added into the files. We know for sure it's not releasing in Season 3 right now because it doesn't have a name and it's not yet complete, meaning that they're gonna have to finish it off with the Season 4 update, and it might end up being a free reward, whether it's through an event by completing all 8 weekly challenges for the entirety of Season 4, or maybe in Season 4 Reloaded when we get a new progression camo like we ended up getting the one trick this season, it might end up being that reward. Let's go ahead and talk about the battle pass, the operator skins, and the information that we have in regards to that so far. Unfortunately, we don't know what the theme of the battle pass is going to be. I'll let you guys give a guess after I give you the new information and let me know what you think. But the first one that we have is there's some code names available in the files right now. There's one called Sergeant Hammer for MW3, and then one called Hammer 2 from Modern Warfare Zombies. He's guessing Hammer 2's coming in as an operator who's one of the people that was in OG MW3, and then they're also one of the pilots in the Zombies mode as of right now. And then there's also a couple of other things. Obviously, this is just a theory, and because it's a code name, it could be something completely different. We've seen with the code names in the files for last couple seasons, every time they're added, you can't really get any information based off of them because they're just so random. But here's the other ones that we have. We have Thyme, apparently Koenig with an MW3 refresh. Could be similar to how we saw Nikto get his own refresh, and then we saw Mace come in and he became his own brand new operator. Same thing may end up happening. They may use a different version of him. And then we have Sage, another one called the Void, and then we have Woods, and then Woods we already know because he's actually going to be a playable operator coming into Modern Warfare 3. If you remember from the video a couple days ago, we talked about the Black Ops 6 reveal event. There's going to be some sort of event that will take place in Warzone similar to the original MW3 reveal event that we saw last year. That's going to happen. There's going to be a challenge that you'll need to complete. You'll be able to get a blueprint reward, and the biggest part about this is if you end up pre-ordering Black Ops 6, which they're going to give you a page to start pre-ordering after the reveal, you'll get an operator, which is going to be Frank Woods, and he's going to be added in the Season 4 update. And then once again, Xbox is going to do their reveal. I believe it was on June 9th, and that's going to be during the span and towards the beginning of Modern Warfare 3 Season 4 update. So all that good stuff is going to be added with this update. You can expect some artwork for BO6, you can expect some operators, more information on the story, the campaign, maybe even multiplayer or zombies. It's still very early right now, but at the same time, it looks like they're preparing all that for Season 4, and that's going to be one of the bigger events that will take place. Now, speaking of events, we got a couple of, there's like like 3 different crossovers that we're getting, and maybe one of them might be in the battle pass, but the very first one that we have is going to be a crossover with Fallout. Right now I'm trying to go quick summarize everything we know so far, but I will have dedicated videos on these crossovers and all the information that we know in regards to that. But Fallout is going to be one of them, and it's apparently going to have a big LTM that will play very similar to Warhammer. We'll also be bringing in operator skins, an event, and LTM, things like that to expect with Fallout. There's also a show that is releasing soon with Amazon Prime, and it looks like Prime and Call of Duty have a very good relationship. We got the Prime gaming packs, we also got The Boys, which is an Amazon Prime exclusive, and now we're getting Fallout, which I believe is also a Prime exclusive. So it looks like more collabs are going to start coming in from Amazon. This is the first one. The second crossover is going to be with The Crow, and apparently they have a movie releasing in August. I thought it was going to be with the original one, but it looks like this crossover will be a remake. We'll be bringing in an Eric Draven operator skin, which is pretty much The Crow, the main character of the entire movie, and it's probably going to be the remade version rather than the original. Maybe they could have an extra style for him. I don't think this will be a very big crossover because the movie still doesn't release all the way up until August, and season 4 starts towards the end of this month, so there's still a couple months until it actually ends up releasing. Maybe that could be for Reloaded. And the last crossover that we know about coming in with season 4 is the Gundam crossover. It looks like they're actually going to be doing a collab with Gundam and bringing in some sort of operators. I've heard of Gundam a couple times, but from what I remember, it's basically an OG version of Transformers, but a Japanese version. They also had an anime. It features giant robots, mechas, and they were called Gundam, and these are the photos that pretty much summarize everything you need to know about this and what they look like. And you can expect that they will be picking in some operators and bringing them in, and there's actually some similarities with some operators that are already coming in that we've seen that sort of fit this style. So this is something that I guess would fit into Call of Duty. But the next thing that I want to talk about is the new content coming in. So we got some new DLC weapons, which I did make a dedicated video about already. I'll have it linked down in the description. But just to summarize to you, the Kar 98K was one of the leaked weapons that's coming into Call of Duty. There's also the Spaz 12, which apparently is going to also have crazy different attachments, have akimbo on it, semi-auto fire. By the way, the Kar 98K is not going to play like the OG version, but it's going to play like the Vanguard version. The next one that we have is going to be the SDG 44, which was recently added with the Reloaded update. So these are the 3 primary weapons that we're expecting. There's also a spear melee weapon that was found in the files. That could also be the melee weapon that we get. We usually get one of those every single season. And then on top of that, there was aftermarket parts that were found. Some for the RGL 80, one for the FJX Horus, one for the M4, the Cast-Off 762, and the Basilisk. So quite a couple of weapons are going to get aftermarket parts. There's usually one every single week, and the season lasts a total of 8. Anyways, the next thing that I want to talk about is the new content coming in for multiplayer. So with every single season, there will be a new set of maps that are going to be coming in. As of right now, unfortunately, none of those have been leaked. They haven't been leaking over the last couple seasons at all. They usually will have all original maps, which apparently so far have been based on real life locations. We saw Dubai, we saw Greece. There could be a Rome location, Italy. I believe Venice was also another place that was on the list. So these next locations could come in from real life locations. There's also remakes. So Sledgehammer has been bringing in remastered versions of maps from past Call of Duty titles that they have created. So let me know if there's any popular ones that they made that you really want to see here in the game. Comment below and let's see if it actually ends up making it in. Another thing that I also wanted to let you know is there's going to be some new kill streaks that were found. Apparently the DNA bomb is going to be coming in and replacing the MGB, which to me is pretty crazy. I thought something like that would end up happening towards the beginning of MW3, and then we saw they pretty much remastered the same MGB from MW2 and just brought it back, no changes to it. It looks like now they're finally making changes to it. And then there's also an IMS kill streak, which is the intelligent munition system that we saw in OG MW3. And then the last one is the Reaper. That's also a kill streak that was originally from MW3, basically like a Predator and a UAV put together. You spot people and then you can shoot multiple Predator missiles at them to eliminate them, and these are apparently going to come into the multiplayer side of things. In terms of the mode, Semtex Leaks ended up posting, he said at some point in the future they are dropping a Horde version of the new Escort mode, so that could end up potentially being added with Season 4. On top of that, there's also the crossovers that I talked about earlier with Fallout. Maybe Gundam is going to get an LTM, maybe the Crow will get an LTM. If any of those do, they will end up being added to multiplayer as well, so that's some stuff to expect. Other than that, there have been no mentions of other upcoming modes like Demolition or any of that. They haven't really said anything about that. Anyways, going on to the zombie side of things, it looks like zombies are starting to come into endgame. Just want to let you know that all the content for Season 4 zombies is not going to come in until the Reloaded update, so we'll definitely have plenty more videos to come out, and then when Season 4 gets added as well, we'll know a little bit more information. But some of the couple things that we know about so far is there's apparently an unstable rift. This could lead you to a brand new location. Maybe you could merge some of these rift areas together. Not entirely sure what they got planned with that going on right now, but that's something that was found in the files. Then there's also that mode, which is PvPvE, that we talked about previously and never ended up making it into the game. Maybe they were scheduling or waiting for season 4. That's also something that could potentially happen. And then there's the rest of the standard things, maybe a brand new warlord that we're gonna get, maybe a new rift location like I talked about earlier, and then also a new story mission or act mission to add more cutscenes and more story and information to the storyline. But then the next thing I want to talk about is going to be Warzone. Surprisingly, not too much has been leaked in regards to Warzone. Other than the crossovers that we talked about, they could potentially get an LTM for Warzone, like we saw with High Trip Resurgence. We ended up seeing the gummies and stuff being added. That's something that can also be added there. A lot of the content, or the majority of it, was added here in Season 3. We got Rebirth Island. They may just introduce a couple of LTMs, not too many big changes. If they do add anything new, it's going to be a returning feature from the original Warzone one. The weapon buy station, the specialist perks, these are things that came from all older Call of Duty titles. The Foresight kill streak, they're probably just going to do something like that where they bring in some other things and just to pretty much make it feel like Warzone 1 again, which is what Sledgehammer looks like they're trying to do. Another thing is the biometric scanner might end up getting a reset. We know that the max reward that you can get is for scanning 27 days. You get the welcome to the mainframe camo. That should be fully reset and new rewards will take over, and maybe a new camo, new items, new cosmetics will come in, and maybe there's even better rewards this time around. I remember for doing 27 days, you also get access to a bunker right now, so there might be more information with these bunkers and more in regards to the Black Ops 6 reveal, but we'll talk all about that once we get closer. I'll have more dedicated videos on these topics that I covered. I just wanted to summarize all the new content for you guys, but thanks for tuning in and watching the video. If you found it informative or helpful, don't forget to hit that like and sub. But it's been your boy Triz, and hopefully I'll be seeing you guys back again. Peace.